Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is your AstroShaman, Pernell, and we are generating an economy of harmony, leveraging human-designed astrology, taking human design, taking astrology, combining it together along with gene keys, and making one beautiful and applicable, practical system for us to navigate the energies. Today, I'm going to just do a simple horoscope, okay, for this week, starting March 27th. It's a Monday. It is considered a moon day. I see the Murphy Show already in here. Welcome. I'm excited about this as well. This is super dope. What I'm going to do, just to give you a heads up, I'm going to talk you through the dates. Day one, Monday, what's going on? Moon already in here. What's going on, Murph? Moon already in Gemini. It's going to shift to Cancer, and this is when I think things are going to get its first glimpse of true crazy. The reason I'm saying, and I'm coming on here on an impromptu, is I got a text this morning about some kind of mass shooting. I don't even know what state or where, but apparently in the U.S. there's another one. And, you know, part of the reason that I'm on here is about us being so desensitized to the fact that there's another mass shooting or some kind of shooting. I got a message from a previous friend / client of mine about, you know, grade school middle kids stabbing other kids with pencils. And I'm like, I'm not surprised. Mars is in Cancer. And, you know, Mars in Cancer is this crime of passion, especially the type of passion that when we don't find the proper creative outlets and channels for our aggression, you will get a 13-year-old kid to stab another kid with a pencil. You will get a 17-year-old kid to shoot up an entire school or a mall. Outside of the school environments, this has a lot to do with children, to be honest. There's a lot of children-like energy. Mars in Cancer expresses a lot of rage, and I feel like this is really where we start off in this weekly horoscope. It's madness or it's peace, and there's one or two things. And the way you're going to obtain peace in this is, in all sincerity, for step one, don't really anticipate or plan to do anything, at least not with a sense of urgency. As I look here, let me look at I'm not on my computer, so forgive me. I would be able to share this on screen normally. But when Mars in Cancer hits, okay, so until we are at about April 11th to April 12th, right around when 9 degrees happens, all right, when Mars in Cancer hits 9 degrees, until then, this is all about planting seeds. Planting seeds is a very peaceful process. So like I said, the video is titled Madness or Peace. I'm going to tell you some stories today, some personal stories that I haven't told and I don't even really care to tell until I'm called to tell. So hit the thumbs up, hit the likes button early while you're in this chat. All right, this is your AstroShaman. We're generating an economy of harmony, leveraging human design astrology. Every first and third Sunday of every month, we do have our memberships and we meet up. If you want to be able to digest and get a part of what we've been doing behind the scenes, if it takes less time on lives. But I do want to say welcome to Facebook, welcome to LinkedIn, as well as my YouTube audience. All 1, 2, 3 are live with us at the moment. And I just want to kind of, again, make that little mention that we do run our memberships. So this is something that if you are looking to just join a community, this is a good time to do it. I don't know, where's my little, I thought I had a little banner or whatever. I'm not going to get too logistical today. All right, so let's just turn that off. So energy is high, okay? But not only is energy high, energy is subjective and energy is confused. Why? Because we have to take the archetype of Cancer, which is naturally home in the moon. And the moon is a changeable sign. Today it's in Gemini. Literally by the time you wake up tomorrow and watch this video on replay, thank you for the people on replay watching it, hitting the thumbs up, the moon will be in Cancer. Now, this is where the danger, I feel like, really hits, and it's probably why my spirit told me to come on here and speak this message now, because the peace is if we have the creative channels and outlets. So like today, for example, I went ahead and I brought paint. And this is probably like, this is a purely emotional drive. I brought myself some paint sticks. I'm not a professional painter, if I'm being honest. I brought myself a canvas. I got me a little big brush here. I got the whole canvas set right behind me. I actually want to show you because I'm super excited, but it looks really crazy to do all that. But I'm going to show you anyways, because this is the passionate moment. So I got myself a little canvas. All right, it's actually not that little, because I felt like I need to be standing. I was in the paint shop. I woke up this morning with a whole bunch of passion. You see the smile and excitement on my face. This is a time that can really get us very close to excitement, to joy, deeper into our passions, deeper into what are the things that lights us up? What are the things that make us so ecstatic that we want to share that excitement? We want to share that light. A lot of like how I'm doing right now with you, sharing that painting is about to be my next endeavor. And it's a way to channel this violent kind of energy. Now, when we're children, this is the thing. We're not given enough time and space to play. Most times we're conditioned to say, look, you got to go to school, you got to do this. And what we do is we force a lot of knowledge. And knowledge is taking us away from our natural creative energy, which is truly a part of our collective creative consciousness. And so when I say creative consciousness, what I'm saying in this moment, as I see 4 on screen, this is a lot of Cancerian energy. The reason why we're so violent right now is our impulse is truly high. Our impulse is actually taking much more priority than our intuition, than our ability to shift and to navigate. There are 4 planets in the sky, and this is March 27th already. We have the Sun in Aries. We have Jupiter in Aries. Okay, we have Chiron in Aries. We have Mercury in Aries, and right now Jupiter and Mercury right on top of each other. So the way we're mentally processing this abundance, the way we're mentally processing this explosion of, everything unique about me, because right now it's at 17 degrees, and that's Leo's element. And Leo is like, look, mentally we want to be seen, and we want to feel heard for the things that we create. And also we want to take selfishly our time and our space to create, so that because we have this intuitive understanding that this is what will help us give back into the world. This will help us nurture our seeds of this new moon that passed and the solar eclipse that's coming. And so we need to understand that the solar eclipse in Aries is already active in the sky. Like, it happens April 20th, and today's the 27th of March. But it's like eclipses already start affecting us and impacting us maybe a month prior. So as we start to understand that and digest that energy, we realize we're exploding, but like we're exploding at a level below the surface. And if you look at like the definition of Hades, or one of the reasons why Aries exalted in Pluto, it's like these are the gems below the surface. And the gems below the surface is our creativity. It is our ability to smile. It is our inner child energy that is raging with excitement and joy. But that excitement and that joy, if not channeled properly, it very quickly turns into a misinterpretation of anger and rage and envy and jealousy. And what's happening is if we're acting too quickly on our impulse and we're not allowing water, okay, Mars and Cancer, and there's not a lot of water in the sky, Pisces is gone. Water is the element that soothes fire. So fire is our ego, and it's our passion, it's our will, it's our authority, and it's what we use to push forward a mission and a purpose. Water is the element that can soothe the edges of fire. Fire can't just overrun water unless it's way too out of control, and then you've seen fire burn on top of water itself, right? But it needs an external agent like oil, right, in order to burn on top of water. So what I'm saying is external from us, there are certain energies that, I mean, in all sincerity, other people are projecting, and it's colluding the water. I don't know if colluding is the proper word in a moment, but what I'm saying is if we're taking external praise and we're allowing other people to stop or halt what is creative about us, and also separate from that, if we're not taking the time and the space to stay still, as I pause. If we're not taking the time and the space to slow down, as you notice, just taking a simple breath, just becoming consciously aware that not every moment needs to be hyped up. Not every moment needs to be raw. Not every moment needs to be so much passion that it cuts through any and everyone. And this is what Mars in Cancer is trying to do in a way where Mars is Aries owned, it's Aries ruled, but it's in the sign of Cancer. And Cancer is a natural tension based energy. Aries and Cancer have a very beautiful relationship, but it's a relationship that needs to be built. It's a relationship that needs to be cultivated because originally they just don't understand each other. This is when you hear people say in conjunct and yada, yada, yada. But it's an important step that as we're looking to step into this entrepreneurial space and as we're looking to go off and be our own and as we're looking to fight and fend for ourselves, Cancer is here to say, like, look, you don't really need to defend yourself. You don't really need to fight. You can love. And this is why Cancer is exalted in Jupiter. You can love. You can nurture. You can be selfless and strong. You can be loving and a warrior. Because every warrior, every true warrior is loving. Every true warrior desires peace. Every true warrior, if they have to fight, they fight for more peace. And what's happening is if we don't understand how to transmute this fight energy, like I said, this is a prime example. I went ahead and got me some paint, and I'm gonna be Bobby Picasso soon. Like I'm gonna start designing my home and putting my art all over my home. And I showed you the canvas right here. Putting this energy internally, this is what's happening in the very beginning of this transit of Mars and Cancer. It's like, if we're so used to receiving external praise, our emotions are being truly hurt when we're not getting an external praise and we're not getting energy from people outside of us right now. We have to start facing that. What have we not cultivated deep within ourselves at an emotional level? How have we literally not been emotionally compassionate with praising ourselves at a deep internal level? And this is the kind of energy where it's like seeking happiness outside of us continuously puts the world at a collective frequency and a collective energy in this state of dissatisfaction because there's this chase for happiness. But Cancer is here to remind us that, happiness is this flowing state of, embracing the dull, simple, boring, mundane moments that you just lay in bed. If you can lay in bed and just be happy that you have a bed, that you can massage your body with oil and use some essential oils and take a slow beginning, like if you can just be happy about the fact that you have legs to walk, you know what I'm saying? If you can just be happy that you have the money, if in this particular instance, for me to just have the money to buy paint, to channel this energy. And if you could just be happy that not only do you have the money to buy paint to channel energy, but that you're now, for me in this instance, putting, fueling the economy of the city that I'm living in Mexico. Okay, I'm living in Mexico and it's like, I'm able to, treat a shop owner and nurture a shop owner's business at the ground level. So that's the beauty, right? Like me, in a sense, being selfless with my passion and my urge and my desire to do something creative and not to open my laptop. Today, for the first time that I opened my laptop, which happened for literally 4 minutes to put tags on this video, was at 5 p.m. 5 p.m., right? Now, what's the majority of the world doing? They're working 9 to 5. So maybe they need to be at the laptop already, and they're already at work or heading to work by 7 to get there for 9, to be ready for 9, or whatever it is. My point is, this restriction that's happening, it is the kind of pressure that is necessary to burst open our sense of play. And what this is doing is it's making sure that we get frustrated enough, that we're agitated enough, that we essentially gain the strength and the power and the courage to leave behind that relationship, to leave behind that job, to leave behind that guru, to leave behind that YouTube channel that you watch every day all the time that's just frying your brains. Even if it's me, leave it. If you need to leave and you need to put yourself in a cocoon and you can't watch me for now, And it doesn't even have to be a reason of like, oh, you know, this guy, I don't resonate with this guy anymore. I don't resonate with this girl. I don't align with this girl, this guy anymore. It could be as simple as right now I need to cocoon. And what I'm telling you all is everybody in this stage until Mars hits 9 degrees at about April 11th, everybody will benefit the most by cocooning. And understand that a butterfly's process cannot be rushed. Your transformation and your metamorphosis right now needs the time to stay beneath the ground, to stay in a private space. And as you stay in that private space and you do whatever it means to nurture yourself, for me, that equates to I've been waking up at like 8:30 in the morning, and it's like, you know, almost every year prior, Aries season coming, me being an Aries. I'm an Aries sun, an Aries moon, an Aries Mercury. Let's be serious, ladies and gentlemen. A whole lot of Aries. It's my season. And instead of stepping more in the external world, I've actually been stepping deeper in the internal world. And this is what it means to have Mars in Cancer. Mars is in rulership of Aries. And Cancer is the home, and it's what we do in private, and it's how we heal ourselves. It's how we rejuvenate. It's what we do and what we need to do in order to retreat. So when we retreat, what are you doing when you retreat, and how is it beneficial for you to retreat into a new form of selflessness? So if I look at it today, I put on my right hand specifically, I think this is like Morgan Barrow Rose Quartz and something else. I don't remember, aquamarine maybe. And this is like my love stone. And I've been putting this on my left hand a lot, which is like, look, I'm taking this love and this emotional healing deep within myself. Putting it on my right hand says, okay, now I can selflessly push that out. So what I'm saying is Aries and Cancer, the combination of the two energies is saying, when we are taking the moment to be selfish, and then we take another moment to be selfish, and then we deny somebody's unsolicited advice about what I should or shouldn't be doing, then we grow in strength. We grow in strength as an individual. And as I continuously grow as an individual in strength and gain more courage in my decisions, regardless of who it hurt, regardless of who was emotionally stabbed, regardless of who wants to pretend I'm being emotionally violent by loving myself, when I just do it for me and say that, yo, being selfish is a positive thing, because until I learn how to be selfish, I don't really know how to be selfless. And this is what Cancer energy is asking us now. Cancer is saying being selfless. So this is now me taking for days and days and days and days and days, putting this on my left arm, and then having moments where it's going up on my right arm. Right now, today, this video, in all sincerity, like today, I'm just so happy with myself and so happy with everything that I've been doing in my life and all the choices that I've been making and all the situations in my life that have been changing and all the people that I've just been honest with, because being honest with myself means being honest with everyone. And the more honest I am with me, the more honest I can be with you. And the more honest I can be with you, the more we begin to heal as a collective. So now I'm able to put this healing emotional bracelet on my own heart chakra on my right arm to say, at this state, I can fill you back up. I can help you through my own personal experience to dissolve the genetic karma in your own ancestral DNA, because your ancestral DNA, no matter if you're Chinese, African, or Indian, is my ancestral DNA, because the white woman is no separate from me as a black male. I am you and you are me. But until I respect me, until I honor myself, I truly cannot fill you up. So let me do it when I have the excess energy overflowing, not when my cup is full, when I'm overflowing. And today I'm overflowing with joy. So now I can come on here and do it impromptu live. But if you notice and you just look at the track record of how many of these impromptu lives have happened, they have not happened. Because my cup was not only depleted, it was upside down. So I had to come to terms with that, and I had to make shifts, and I had to take the moment to realize, look, right now is a time to cocoon. So until Mars hits 9 degrees, I am telling you, I promise you, stay home, stay private, take less time watching other people's media, take less time answering other people's calls. Somebody just called me that I don't even know on Instagram like seconds ago, and I pressed deny as soon as I saw the call. They got on my Instagram. They got my messages talking about, hey, how are you, beloved, and yada yada. I'm like, yo, what's on your mind? Stop playing around. Like, I don't know you. You don't know me. Don't even try to pretend. Stop pretending. Anybody that's pretending, like, stop. You see how agitated and annoyed? And so what's happening with Cancer energy is it's allowing us to be agitated. We're allowing ourselves to be annoyed. We're allowing ourselves to be moody. We're allowing ourselves to witness. We're allowing ourselves to witness what aggravates me. Where and when do I catch an attitude with a random stranger who's trying to waste my time? When they ask me questions, then looking at the questions, I'm like, yo, your intention is hidden. And I'm giving you an opportunity to be real and upfront. So what I'm saying is when that happens, be willing to just say, I'm not going to respond. I'm going to leave you on red. I'm going to leave you on scene because I gave you an opportunity and you're wasting my time. You're wasting my energy. And that's the energy that with this bracelet and me talking right now, I put this blue necklace on. I remember this is like my speaking necklace. And I felt the urge to put it on this morning. Now, impulse says I will put this on this morning and then I will talk to you too soon. But instead, I put this on at 5 p.m. Instead of 8 in the morning, I put it on at 5 p.m. and I'm now talking to you now. But if I did this too early, before I went ahead and brought myself, this is the happiest moment of my life, ladies and gentlemen, like me buying myself paint. Okay, me buying myself paint and a paint kit and being excited like a little kid in the store telling people, yo, this is I'm sitting here in Spanish, talking to people in Spanish, don't even know how to say caballete, which is this canvas right behind me. I don't know how to say caballete. I don't know how to say pintura at the time. I don't know how to say freaking, I can't even remember all the words at this point. I don't even know. So I'm just out allowing myself to have fun and be curious. Gemini moon, locally traveling in my environment, okay, taking my bike, going out and saying, look, I feel creative and I want paint. And as a part of that, it's like I'm out and I told myself weeks ago, and again, like I said, this is story time. So just think of this today as story time, all right? I take my shoes. I had the same shoes for maybe 2 years, maybe 2 years. I had the same shoes and they were dark blue. Okay. They were these dark blue shoes. And my shoes are ripping apart on the inside. And I'm like, man, my heels are starting to hurt. My feet are starting to hurt. So I brought a sole, I put the sole in the shoe. And that was about a month ago. And I'm like, man, my feet are still starting to hurt. Like, I need new shoes. So I told myself this weeks ago. I'm like, all right, great. So I'm going out and I spend freaking 2 hours. I go out to look for paint, but I spend 2 hours looking for shoes. Just curiously, just happily, just like, la, la, la. And it's like the impulse, I almost bought these pair of shoes, but they were a little tight. And I was like, man, I made this mistake before. And like, I really want these shoes, but they don't have my size and these are too tight. So I'm like, I'm not going to go with the impulse. I'm going to go with the intuition. Intuition says, no, I don't, these shoes are too tight. I don't want to step into and they were blue. Now, the thing is, I wish I had them. They're downstairs. But I'm going to tell me I have another blue. All right, whatever. Okay, so let's say these are the dark blue shoes, and they're way darker than this. These are the shoes I had, and they're ripped up. And then let's say that these are the new shoes, but they were much brighter. It was these super bright neon blue shoes. Now, as we know, if we look, and I see the astro guide in here, right? If we take into dreams, right? Whenever you have a color, and the color is dark, generally it's something dull or gloomy happening within it. So when I look at these shoes, my shoes on my feet, Pisces are the feet, a creative and imaginative sign, something all about the dream and all about the creativity, makes the best actors because they can just, they do, right? They play the part. But in the dark blue shoes, I'm playing that gloomy role. I'm not really fully expressing my throat chakra. So today I brought some bright blue shoes. Bright. I wish I had them. They're downstairs and it's just too much. Bright blue shoes. And I was like, yes, I want these, but I didn't buy them because they didn't fit. Now I keep moving on and I'm like, okay, you know what? 2 hours. I didn't find the shoes. That's fine. I'm going to go back to my original plan and I'm going to go get my paint. Okay. So I go to get my paint and then what do I see? Another shoe store. The same brand of shoe store is called Zapateria. This just means like this shoe store is like a brand. It's like a whole storefront. And I walk in, it's the same model, 2126 was the model. And I'm like, I want these blue shoes. And I walk in there immediately. I'm like, do you have a 9? In Mexican, whatever size that is in English, I don't even know, or America. And they're like, boom, they bring me the 9. I take the shoes. They fit. It was a half size up. So what I'm saying is I didn't follow my impulse. I followed my intuition. Aries is a tremendously intuitive sign, but it has to recognize and understand that it has an impulse, and that an impulse can oftentimes make it go backwards. Cancer, fire, when you add water, Cancer now says, hey, when you know you have the mission to get bright blue shoes, and honestly, I wanted bright yellow shoes, but I couldn't find them. But then eventually I saw those bright blue ones and I was like, these are the ones. And I was like, okay, they're brighter and they're a much lighter blue than my shoes. So it felt like the frequency of my own throat chakra, my own creative being was raising. It was amplifying. It was purifying. And I was getting closer to my truth. Now, I'm going to help you understand what needed to happen in the real world. All right. I had a conversation with a good friend of mine. It's a friend of mine, this friend of mine is actually in my membership. And so I reached out to my friend, maybe like a month ago. I unfollowed my friend on Instagram. And this happened with multiple people, by the way, people in my membership and people out of my membership. And I unfollowed my friend, and it was about a month, and I didn't say anything, but I knew that I was going to, but I needed to wait until I got the green light to say something instead of rushing to tell my friend, yo, I unfollowed you, and I don't even fully know why. All I knew was my intuition said, unfollow this guy. Now, a month or so goes by, and today is the day, and I send this guy a message. And I'm looking at this girl, and I'm like, look, here's why I sent you this message. And so then this girl goes, yo, I changed my number. And then this guy goes, and I go back to this guy. I'm going back and forth between guy and girl. It's one person. This is how much gender doesn't matter. So I'm looking at my friend and I tell him, yo, here's why. I sent 1 minute and 46 second videos back to back. And I was like, look, here's why I need to unfollow you. I need to go into a cocoon. And right now you're connected to a lot of people that I have cut out of my life. There's so many people right now that I need to cut out of my life. And not only do I need to cut them out of my life, and those people that cut out of my life, I also sent them messages months prior to all of this about why. I explained the limitation. Here's why I'm talking up and I'm speaking up to you. Hopefully, keyword, hopefully. Now, if you look at human design, I have a hope motivation. And it's the simple understanding of, look, I'm just here to hope people do or don't do blah, blah, blah. It's not my job to attach to it. I used to attach to it. I used to take that hope and turn it into guilt. But whatever. So I spoke my message and I'm like, I hope that we can meet a simple agreement and understanding. Here's what is changing in my life. And that hope didn't work out how I hoped. And it's like, okay. So now I talked to my friend who's connected to some same other people. And this friend of mine was sharing a lot of my content. And I'm like, yo, the irony of this is you're sharing so much of my content and I'm so grateful. I'm so happy. Like, thank you. You're really helping the message get further than I can get it on my own. Thank you. Now, within that thanks, here's the irony. You're in my membership. I'm thanking you for this, but I got to let you know that I unfollowed you. And here's why. And so I make that mention. I said, look, not only do I need these people and these old connections out of my mind, but I need them to not have me in their minds either, which is like, I unfollowed you so that for the time being, I can separate and dissolve this link. Because I don't need this hate or this envy or this rage coming at me, even in indirect ways. Because right now I'm in a cocoon, 111 on screen. I'm in a cocoon. And this is Mars in Cancer from 0 to 8 degrees. This is the seed being planted beneath the surface. Now, the seed takes the stronger the root, the stronger the tree, the larger the tree that's going to last 10,000 years versus the one that lasts is 100 years, is going to take longer for it to look like anything ever cracks the surface. The tree that we plant and we nurture that's going to last for 100 years, it might crack the surface in 7 days. Oh my God, wow, I see a quick instant gratification result in 7 days. But the seed that matters, the seed that will last for a millennium, the seed will last for 10 millenniums. It's like, look, 10,000 years, this seed is not going to crack the surface for 400 years. I'm dead. 7 years, I could see the results of my labor. This is Mercury in Aries right now at 17 degrees. I could see the results of my labor in this lifetime. All I gotta do is wait 7 days. And it's gonna last 100 years. So that's my whole lifespan anyways. Congratulations to me. That's selfish in a way that is not selfless enough. Versus understanding, yo, look, I'm gonna plant this seed. I'm gonna water it every day. Every day I'm gonna nurture and do whatever. And I'm never gonna see the seed crack the surface because it's gonna take 4 lifetimes, 400 years to see this seed. 400 years. So I have to tell my kids, to tell their kids, to tell their kids, to tell their kids, to tell their kids, to keep doing this process of nurturing so that for the next 10,000 years, the earth will flourish. So this is the story that I wanted to bring back to everybody right now about Mars and Cancer. Until it hits 9 degrees, our creativity is beneath the surface. It is hidden. It will not be revealed to anyone else. It will not be revealed to anyone else. We will not get credit for our labor, but it is the internal emotional development that is required in order for us to sit there and recognize a projection. When somebody is externally projecting their expectations on you, and more importantly, for me to recognize my internal projections. Because while I'm in private, while I'm in my cocoon, guess what? I no longer have anybody's advice. I no longer have anybody's comments. I no longer have anybody's input. So every projection that is revealing itself now is coming from deep intrinsically within me. So what am I saying? It is the process of understanding my own intrinsic motivation. And this is where your best benefit will happen. The whole thing around this world that we live in, particularly Western society in the moment, although the Eastern world is changing, okay? It is flip-flopping. The Eastern world used to be way more like, in their spiritual Maya, but they're changing. But I'm gonna stay on track for the moment. My point is, if I go back to my friend, I have this conversation, and as I have this conversation, my friend comes back to me and say, you know what? Wow. Actually, at first, I took that emotionally to heart. And I recognized the unfollow. I was like, it's as simple as another unfollow. That's cool. And at first I took it to heart and it hurt me in whatever way. But then that hurt, that emotional trigger showed me what was real and what was not. And what was not real was some false expectation on external validation, on needing to be seen together in public when we know what we're doing in private. And this is like, I was like, wow, thank you so much, because a month ago when it happened, all I got was the intuition to do this. It wasn't an impulse cut. It was an intuitive cut without knowing the answer. And it's a month later, and now I get to talk back and forth, and I realize, wow, I'm seeing the transits, and even the transits is speaking about it very clear that we need to emotionally trigger people right now in order for the collective karma to dissolve. Because through that trigger, our creativity will pierce the surface. So now I'm seeing in real time that, wow, I helped this person break some sense of conditioning by being instinctively true to me. And then in return, we start talking and we go a little further and a little deeper. And now not only this person, but me, we're both recognizing how that was the most important thing. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, look, keep in mind, if you have my number, my phone number matters to me. My Instagram doesn't. I put no priority on my Instagram. Not even a lick of it. If you're a friend with me on Instagram, you're not my friend. I'm just going to keep it a buck. You're not my friend. If you have my number, you're my friend. If you can send me a message right now on this phone and I get a notification, you know what I don't get notifications from? Instagram. I get no notification from Instagram. You know what I get a notification from? When somebody sends me a text or a call. That's a friend for me. That's a friend. Can you call me right now? Right now. This is a live feed. Can you call me now? That's a friend. If you can't, it ain't a friend. So it's like, it's just the simplicity of, and the key behind all of this is why I want to tell you as a part of the story. It's like, the limitation must be expressed. So I made the limitation, I made the cuts, yada, 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 but I had to express that to my friend. Not leave them in the dark, not leave them wondering. You feel me? Because now it's like, this is another narrative of control that's just completely unnecessary. Live, what's up? This is you know what I'm saying? This is not us trying to control somebody else through some means of God knows what, like some form of superficiality. Don't even really want to care to get into it. But you see what I'm saying? It's like, for me, it's like, yo, this person's in my membership. This person has my number. I can give two farts about Instagram. Instagram is the fakest platform I've ever seen. There's one reason why I haven't. It's like, it does make certain things simpler when it comes to contact. If anything, Instagram is a business proposition, period. It's a portfolio at max for you to see something separate that YouTube doesn't show. Like at max, at the highest possible benefit or outcome. Like, I simply don't care. Now, I want to give you a different story. Okay. Dreams. I got a dream lady in here right now. Dreams, right? Saturn is in Pisces. Right? What's up, y'all? I didn't even see none of these comments. Happy to see y'all in here, though. Appreciate you. Saturn is in Pisces. Now, emotionally and spiritually speaking, people are crossing esoteric boundaries unconsciously and inappropriately. And some might do it consciously, to be honest. Some people are aware of this. So be mindful. So what I'm saying is like, people are in this point right now where a lot of people are actually starving for support. They're starving for support. They're starving for support. Hear what I just said. They're starving for support. Yet their human self or their human body or their human ego cannot come to terms with the fact that they need healing. They need help. They need support. And what is happening is people are beginning to astral project. Their spirit is almost overriding their human ego, their human selves that refuse to ask for help. And their spirit is projecting themselves into people's dreams. So your dreams can be very much, you got to be very careful right now, because a lot of people are looking to be saved. And we all know, as we say that out loud, it's like, look, nobody can save you but yourself. When we say it out loud, we're like, yeah, it's just a simple reality. But it's one of the big reasons why I said this is happening unconsciously. And this is happening for people, especially the macho man. Now, this is what's important to understand. The macho man who is out of tune with their sensitivities, they're out of tune with their intuition, they're out of tune with their empathy, and they're following some sense of archaic masculine code around how to be a man. And a lot of men at the same time are waking up from this nonsense narrative, and they're realizing, like, you know what? Women aren't here to love us. Men are here to love women. Men are here to pierce the hearts of women and all of the tyranny that women have gone through. Men are the ones piercing the heart. A man, keyword, a man, not a boy, not a teenager, not a son. A man is here to pierce the heart of the woman, to just crack her wide open. Now, the problem is so many men on the opposite end are looking for women to come and heal them and to be their mama, basically. And it's like, that's dying. So the reason I say this is like, I'm seeing a lot of, and understand when I say men, I'm talking energy in the moment. So I'm talking masculine energy. You don't have to have a penis. You can, the reality is a lot of the people I'm saying this to right now actually have a vagina, who act like men, who behave energetically like men. And this is a narrative on another side where, again, gender really doesn't matter in this instance, but I'm just trying to speak of it openly to give alternative perspectives, right? So what I'm saying in the moment is the world is starving for love, and the world is starving for support, and the world is starving to be creative, to just feel liberated, truly liberated, not some fake guru liberation, not some part-time lazy form of liberation through drugs. And this is a big one. Saturn in Pisces is locking down. Saturn in Pisces is locking down. Saturn in Pisces is locking down. Trying to buy your way through spirituality and connecting with your soul, it's not gonna work. Yo. Pluto in Capricorn is done, bro. It's gonna go back for the next 2 years. It'll retrograde a couple times, but we got 20 years of Pluto in Aquarius. That superficial external layer of validation is going to smack everybody in the face who thinks otherwise. So what I'm saying is escaping through a drug right now is not gonna work anymore. And you're going to gain consequences because Saturn will discipline those who are trying to, go through some sort of a spiritual evolution. Ayahuasca, that junk's done. It's done. I'm telling you, for the next 2 years, people are the ayahuasca is done. The marijuana is done. The alcohol is done. It's like, it's a lazy form of escape. It's a lazy form of imagination. It's like, we're going to be challenged, Saturn. We're going to be challenged to create, with the purity of our own souls. The purity of our own souls. Your own soul, your spirit is creative enough. All we need to do is create the time to play. Now, Mars and Cancer here is saying our actions, we're dwindled, we're slowed down, we're more restful. We're resting a whole lot more. And it's showing us how much time we have to play. Now, play is going to look different to each person. If you have a partner, there's plenty of things you can think about to create games together. If you're in my membership, for example, I'm looking at it and I'm like, yo, next Sunday we meet. We're finishing up the planets. I'm like, yo, once we learn the planets, I got my dice. And I'm like, yo, we're about to gamify this. I'm about to start challenging people through games, literally creating a sense of playing through astrology in the houses and the signs at the random. For example, we role played on one of the meetings, or constellation therapy on a different meeting. It's like my point is making more room for your creative right brain to be exercised. Your creative right brain to be exercised, for your intuition to be exercised, and to be challenged in a way where we're ultimately being asked to step away from the light. Now, counterintuitive to what everybody believes Aries is, first off, Aries is in domain of Cancer. Cancer runs Aries right now, okay? Cancer is on Aries' ass, and Aries can't do nothing without asking mom for the green light. And if you're smart right now, you're going to abide by Cancer's rule and understand that your emotions, your sensitivities, they're changeable right now. Follow the moon, and whatever the moon is doing, do that. And I promise you'll be happy with whatever your action in your day. You'll find yourself more satisfied. You'll find yourself more at peace, and you'll find yourself feeling successful. All right. For my projectors out there, you're going to feel more successful. For my generators out there, you're going to feel satisfied. For my manifestors, you're going to feel at peace. For my reflectors, I can't remember what your authority is, to be honest, right now. If you're in alignment, if you're being your authentic self. I wish my water wasn't. All right, I gotta grab my water. 1 second. I've been waiting to get it. I just had this thing. Un momento. That's the key right there. Uranus, that's key. That's critical. Going with the wave. So it's like I said today, I went for paint and I ended up getting sneakers. I went with the wave. And it's like part of me, you know, Gemini could be create Gemini and the moon could be, okay, look, start painting at home. But I was like, look, you know, tomorrow the moon. Instead, I was like, let's just talk live and do this. Thank you, flowing in peace. Let's just talk live and do this because Gemini is also speaking. Where am I speaking from? I'm speaking from my home, right? Prime example. And then tomorrow, what can I do? I can create. I'm gonna be home all day tomorrow. I'm already planning it. I'm gonna be home. I'm gonna set up my canvas. Like I said, I'm gonna show you again because I'm so excited about it, ladies and gentlemen. Look, check it out. Got my canvas. It's sitting there waiting for me. I was in the paint store, like I was lining it up, and I was like, man, I can get the little one. And I was like, nah, like I'm gonna pay $5 more to get the tall one because I was like, I want to stand. I want to have the ability to stand. I don't want to only be able to sit. So, boom. Moon in Cancer, follow the wave. Stay home. Give your lover, give your partner a massage. All right. Give your lover or your partner a massage tomorrow. Make a home cooked meal tomorrow. Tonight, have a conversation with one of your siblings. Call up your sister. Right? While Gemini Moon was here, I called up my other sister who's having whatever problem. My sister's like 17. She's having whatever problems with my mom. I'm like, I'm talking to my sister. I'm talking to my mom, talking to both of them. Right? Moon, talking to siblings and the mother. And I'm like helping them find a resolution. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, I'm having whatever tough conversation I need to have with my mom, having tough conversation with my friends, having tough conversation with my sister. And what I'm saying is having tough conversation with my partner. And what I'm saying is like having tough conversations is ultimately overly liberating. It is liberation, ladies and gentlemen. Be willing to have a tough ass conversation. Be willing to tell somebody, look, I don't rock with you right now. To people in my inbox, like, yo, I wanna do this live collab. You know, can you give me a site, send a time and date? And I was asked like 3-4 times, send a time and date. And I said 3-4 times, no, I need to check my calendar. No, I need to check my calendar. No, I want to, and beyond that, I want to have a conversation with you first. And I was like, no, I've never talked to you. I want to have a conversation. I'm not giving you a time and a date until we talk. I need to talk to you. I'm not taking a collaboration without having a discussion, period. And even when I have a discussion right now, I'm not in a collaboration season. So we're going to set the date and it might not be this week. It might not be next week. It might be a month from now. It might be 2 months from now. I don't know. I'm going to follow the flow. I'm going to follow the flow. And so what I'm saying is being willing to have these tough conversations, you're going to start realizing that you're going to grow that muscle. Aries is growing that muscle, is growing your new belief system in Jupiter. Okay, you have a brand new belief system. You have a new challenge to expand and to explode inwardly. Okay, Mars in Cancer is a black hole. It is not a white hole. Black hole condenses all matter inward, and this is Mars in Cancer. Capricorn is a white hole and it pushes all energy outwards. And that's the light that we get to publicly see where people are shining. I got my girl from Israel. I think you were in Israel. I don't know what that says right now, but it seems like I should take a pause. Let's look into this. I agree partially on the cannabis issue. It's just from my own experience. I feel it really depends on who's the user, how much, and why. Cannabis, if used not to wipe out the brain, it's a great substitute for the physical body, who has absorbed psychiatric meds for 35 years now. Bang. Many people want to go off the meds, I see more and more, but when the body is used to it, it needs time for everything to function properly, as before the meds, in order to be stable. The only thing that I got so far is there is a process. There is a process. There is a process. My mind told me that 4 or 5 times. There is a process. And when I say there's a process to weeding yourself off. There is a process. There is a process. I agree. Mother Mary Jane has been my greatest teacher, and I don't need much to receive her grace and motherly love. It takes years to detox meds. Now here's the beautiful year. Here's the beautiful year. Ready? Saturn is in Pisces for 2.5 years. Drugs, Pisces. And the restriction of drugs, Saturn, is there for 2.5 years. That's years. First and foremost, I feel at this point, it's a personal choice. It's a personal choice. The choice has to be made first for any individual, if they even want, if they want to function without the meds. That's step one. No one can answer that except for every single person at an individual level. Now, I will tell you, at a collective level, the day will come where no one will be on drugs. To be honest, everybody that's currently alive right now probably will be dead by the time we see that day come where no one will be on drugs. But the simple reality is no one will be on drugs. At a collective level, maybe 300 to 400 years from now. Honestly, I'm just taking an intuitive guess at that. I'm not putting no real stamp on that. And so what I'm saying is, at the individual level, this year, a lot of people will restrict drugs. And I'm saying this, I ain't even gonna stunt with you. I love to smoke some weed. At the same time, I'm gonna promise myself in the last stash, I said, when it's out, it's out. And that was that. And for me, it's about respecting the seasons. Understanding there are certain seasons, yeah, it's done, it's gone. And there's certain seasons, yo, game on. And I feel like it's about us being honest with ourselves. The biggest part about this is about being emotionally and spiritually honest with yourself. Because there's multiple stories. There's the story of like, I could stop, and then it's really a lie. It's like, nope, it's a lie. And then there's a story where when I run out of this stash, I'm gonna stop. And then that person stops. How long or how little or what time frame? To be honest, at this point, it matters less. What matters most is to be emotionally honest with ourselves. And to take into understanding our personal priority as well as the collective priority. Because on a large scale, the collective priority are drugs are abused. Now, when I say drug, I'm saying anything we're addicted to. So this means to me personally, when I think Saturn in Pisces, to fast from lust, to fast from marijuana, to fast from the ego, to fast from healthy sex. Doesn't have to be lust, from healthy sex. Fast. And the moment, you can imagine how the list goes on. To fast from TV, to fast from Netflix. Oh, hallelujah. Can we do that? Can we fast from Netflix? Can we just not watch Netflix for a month? Watch your life transform. I promise you, on everything I love. Watch anybody who can fast from Netflix for a month. Anybody who can, keyword, fast from Netflix, watch their life transform. Anybody smoking marijuana, stop smoking for a month. Watch your life transform. So we have to, in my personal opinion, we have to be emotionally honest with ourselves about, if you stop for a month, let's just say, how much better would your life be? And why is that seemingly automatically true? You see what I'm saying? And I didn't get a chance to look at the comments. I'm going to come back to the comments. I'm going to look at all of them. I'll read them all. The key with this is can we be emotionally honest? That's the biggest key. And that's a very individual thing. And again, this is the part that we need to do and find our way through as individuals in our own selfish manner. So what I want to say, step one is, I'm not telling nobody to stop. Whatever the drug, sex, television, anger, okay? Anger is a drug. How many people you know can't stop being angry? It's a drug. Anything you can't stop longer than 5 minutes is scientifically considered an addiction. I'm gonna say it again. Anything that you cannot stop doing after 5 minutes, if you can't stop yelling at your husband after 5 minutes, you're addicted to that rage. You're addicted to that anger. You're addicted to that conflict. Anything you can't stop doing for 5 minutes, you're addicted. And I'm saying that like within continuation, right? So, like I said, now on the short term, that's what I see short term. On the long term, not all of us will get back into the simple blessing and understanding that the only drug we really need is to connect with our consciousness. Literally, to connect with life. To go outside and go to a park and sit there without having to take the drug. Just experience the tree and put your feet in the dirt and bathe your face in the ocean. And when we can get back to the simplicity, and I'm telling you, this is at a collective consciousness going to happen. And I do truly believe that as a part of that, until we get rid of the drug, whatever it is, it's very tough to understand what is our baseline today. Because Mars in Cancer is also super nostalgic. So part of us is going to be cut from who we were, this memory of who we were. And part of this memory of who we were is confusing us about who we are. And is blocking us from who we're becoming. And again, that's another water sign, Mars and Cancer. We have to be emotionally honest. You know, the thing about being emotionally honest is no one knows. No one knows. Only the person to themselves, only me as an individual can understand if I'm being emotionally honest. It doesn't matter if somebody across from me is like, yo, he's lying to himself. It's like, only me. It only matters to me. And it's like when we start raising that frequency as a collective, it stops being about me. I start realizing that me being emotionally honest is truly critical and important for the world. Because as I become more emotionally honest, it's like the story I told you earlier. The next person who may have been emotionally triggered can then be emotionally honest, not just with me, which is what happened, but then with her boyfriend. And then her boyfriend expresses it to his uncle. And then his uncle gives it to his teacher at night school. Then that teacher teaches 30 kids. And then it's out of control. It's like it's a beautiful, blissful wildfire. It's a beautiful, blissful wildfire. And it's something I had to realize, like, you know, when it comes to terms of spirituality and it comes to terms of drugs, there is this consistent connection with reaching these higher spiritual states in temporary moments of that, a glimpse of the higher being that's not sustainable without the drug. Can we get that? Can we lick that blissful energy and make it sustainable without the drug? Whatever the drug, because again, sex gets us there, right? You have an orgasm, you reach nirvana. You have an orgasm with your partner. Oh wow, y'all both reaching nirvana, and it's lasting a little bit longer than as an individual. As a selfish nut versus a selfless nut, where now y'all reaching it together. Lasts a little bit longer, but it still goes away. So I just wanted to, like, again, in this moment, truly, I'm not looking to knock nobody on their process. And it's where I really started. It's a process. It's a process. It's a process. That's where I started. Where even if I look at it with drinking, I'm in Mexico. I fucking love tequila. I 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 really do. And I'm very aware of that. I just said this in an affirmation type form, and it's something to be mindful of. But it's the truth. But yet and still, I have no craving. I have not a single ounce of craving for tequila. Because I had to realize, first off, tequila is a stimulant. So it's much tougher in a way to realize in which ways is it destructive. Because it's a stimulant. It brings you up. Every other alcohol is a depressant. Beer, wine, rum, whiskey, they're all depressants. All depressants. Tequila is literally the one stimulant that exists in the alcohol family, along with 13 benefits. And I used to tell myself that. I used to remind myself, oh, it cleans out your colon. Oh, it can be used as a sleep aid. Oh, it can be used for toothaches. Oh, it can be used for blah, blah, blah. Literally like 13 plus benefits. Tequila. Oh, it's a stimulant. It brings you up. But again, what the problem was with this in the moment is like it was creating a false sense of happiness at the same time because it's a stimulant. So I feel good. I felt good. Every time I drink tequila, I'm up. I'm up. But again, it's not sustainable. So when I look at Saturn in Pisces, we're going to find sustainable ways to connect with our source energy and our spirit. And when and I'm saying this as a simple true fact for myself, again, this is Cancer season energy as well with Mars there. So a lot of this is subjective, but I truly believe this in my heart, that drugs is a lazy way to connect with our spirit. It's lazy. It's lazy and it's not sustainable. It's lazy and it's not sustainable. And it's costly. It's costly. As many of us, who's keeping finances? Like when I do my expense reports, for example, I had a category that said alcohol or weed and how much I spent on it, whatever, each month. And when I stopped both, there is this moment of shame, if I'm being honest, right? Because this is just me in my own private practice, right? Like I'm typing my own expenses in. No one's even seeing my expense sheet. It's just me. And then there's this moment where like, time passes and I'm not smoking or drinking and I'm looking at it and I'm like, man, this is a whole category. I had a whole category to track expenses on what did I spend on alcohol or weed. And the irony is by giving that up, it's like I said to y'all in the beginning. Now, today, I have the ability to go ahead and feel comfortable as I address the shame I felt in that moment. And it was a very silent shame, right? It was a very silent process. It's just me. Ain't nobody else there but me. And I'm feeling this shame. And I was like, man, I was really spending money on this. And then Cancer is here to help us to connect with these attitudes, these moments of shame or guilt and regret. And it is showing us how we can divert and redirect our energy to be less explosive and to fuse the fire in the water. When the water can soothe the ego, right? It can intuitively redirect the purpose and the direction for why we do what we do. And that turns into now I get to buy myself some pain. And now, instead of being lazy with my creativity and thinking, oh, well, all the greatest artists would drink wine and do their pain, for example, it's like, well, what is my own inner child willing to do? Like, if I give it a chance, keyword, like, why am I already thinking about, I can't wait to create under the influence? Under the influence. You've never heard anybody say above the influence. Under the influence, what my creativity might look like. And it's like, well, what does my creativity look like above the influence? To me, that lights me up. I feel more joy when I say that out loud. What does it feel like when I'm above the influence? All right. So let me check the comments. Tangent over for the moment. Nostalgia. I was reminiscing on childhood today. Yeah. High on life. Hell yeah. Cool. Breathing. I'm addicted. Yeah. Being addicted to breath work is amazing. All right. I think, damn, there's a lot of comments along the way. Somebody, I ain't even gonna say who, but somebody must have been triggered in the comments. I've lost track of where we left off the comments. Okay, what we got? Hey, Israel. Yeah, okay, it was Israel. Okay, what's up? Okay, I seen this. I left off here Mother Nature provides medicine. Absolutely. Okay, I have a natal Saturn in Pisces. Ooh, Saturn return, huh? Prevents me from going overboard. When I started smoking Mary Jane, she made it clear I was not to take advantage of her. Absolutely. And so what self-centered said right here, this is really important because it's like, I don't know if I said this earlier, but it just kind of was already in my mind. It's like I said, it's a process, and moderation is critical. And this is where I said, can we be emotionally honest with ourselves? Because that's step one. If we can, then then be honest. That's your process. Whatever your process says, yes or no, then it don't matter. Like, it's your process. Schizophrenia brother off the man, he just smoked weed. But the prayer asking for us to help receive more. But right now, he's in a journey back to the self, to be the self, and he knows what it needs to be. Yeah. Yeah. I appreciate you, Hakuna. Hakuma, excuse me. Hakuma, for announcing that. Sometimes you're both of those. I think we were going back to our ancestors used plant medicine. Yeah. I believe that. Again, with this comment right here, I feel like going back to how the ancestors used the medicine is a part of the process. It's a part of the process. But I also believe that in the part of that process, we must be honest about how much abuse is happening. How much abuse is happening. Because again, we got to really worry about, if we're in control for ourselves, then we must lend a hand selflessly to the next who's not in control by our story. Like right now, just telling these stories right now here live, all of us in the chat and communicating back and forth. This story is important. They're meant to be teachers and guides of this world, not for escapism. 1000%. Realism is the way. And they should be respected. 1000%. Netflix, yup. Let me see where we at. Okay. I've been off the meds for 2 years. The body, especially the brain, takes more than 2 years to clean itself. Yeah, the body takes a hit. It takes years. It cannot happen too quickly or may cause death. It has to go slowly. The human brain and emotions are not Netflix. But I'm speaking of other people who their body was on meds for years. And in my case, 36 years. The cannabis is a very good substitute into the brain and body, finishing the cleansing of the chemicals. I know this, my friend. And you know this. This is your process. Okay, I think I've seen some of this. Got to get deep into the Bermuda Triangle. Hey, what's up, J-Lo? Good to see you. I came into hearing orgasm. Yeah. Everybody loves a good orgasm. I always ask why I never tried so much so-called medicinal uses people speak of. Yeah, this right here, I do think, again, part of the emotional honesty is about, is it really medicinal use, or is that just something that makes us feel better, about our decisions, so we don't have to face other emotions. I'm sorry being harsh here. It's very important that people know. Take cannabis. Yeah, and for me, like, with this comment, it's like, I'm not saying it's not possible to be in a high spiritual place on cannabis or on something else. I'm saying when you get there without it, you realize how much you don't need it. Where if it's a choice at that point, then it's a choice. And if you enjoy your choice and you're happy with that, then be happy. No one, you never need to explain that to nobody. You know what I'm saying? But I still feel very simple. I still simply feel that, again, drugs is a lazy way to get in tune with Neptune, right? Neptune is spirituality. Neptune is in Pisces. So this is part of it, right? Neptune is still in Pisces until 2025. So it's like, I guarantee that this entire conversation in the next 2 years, when it goes into Aries, once Neptune goes into Aries, like, everybody's going to get slapped in the face. They're going to get slapped so hard because it's hard to recognize delusion while we're in the delusion. You know what I mean? And Neptune is drugs. Pisces is drugs, but it also is spirituality. So it's like, I do believe at a collective level, we've needed to, as a whole globe, tap back into spirituality through drugs as a globe in order to not to realize, you know, what we're not missing. You feel me? Because there's this energy where it's like, and thank you for hitting the thumbs up. There's this energy where it's like and when we feel like we're missing something, when we feel like, you know, let's say, especially if we were younger and we weren't able to smoke, so like now we need to smoke, or we were younger, we weren't able to drink, so now we want to drink. It's like we were younger, we couldn't have friends, so now we have friends with everybody. And it's like, but when that happens, understand how much of an overload also usually comes with that, right? And so what I'm saying is like, we've all seen the kid that you tell no who does exactly what you told no. Okay, great. Which is why, like today, I'm not telling nobody no. I'm not telling nobody don't do this or this is bad or this is that. I'm just trying to offer perspective. And what we do with that perspective is what we do. So, you know, again, it's one of those things where, like I said, Mars and Cancer, we're going to trigger people. It's going to happen. A lot of triggering is going to happen. And it's what needs to happen in order for us to come to certain simple realities and certain simple truths. But by 2025, when Neptune goes into Aries, people are going to start getting slapped with reality. 17.5 my Pearl. I was seeing way beyond, not even knowing. Oh, cool. Yeah, 17 was in the sky. I think it still is. Is it still in the sky right now? And it was connecting to my 62. Yeah, it's still in the sky right now. I don't know if y'all can see this. So it's connecting from the ajna to the throat. So, and like you say, you can see there, I have the 62. So that fourth channel, that channel of acceptance is going down. You all giving us the party bug. Nah, y'all giving yourself the party bug. Okay. We all get tested differently. That's a fact. Okay, it's been used for money purposes, not given the respect it deserves. I've seen them on Amazon would say, when you live under a Neptune line, things may not be what they seem. Illusions are galore. Yeah, yo, I lived on a Neptune line in Bali, which is funny because look at this. The paint that I got today, Indonesia, Bali, made in Indonesia. This is what's funny. What app is that? It's 64keys.com. I can't really type it because this is my iPad and it makes it really hard to type, but 64keys.com. I think you could sign up. You get like 2 months free. It's dope. It could show you the transits. You see here, it's 3 different things. This is my actual chart, the transit chart, and then what it looks like in the chart combined. So very helpful. Okay, so I guess to finish this message, because your boy is getting hungry, my spirit's like, I need a sweet. I got this vegan donut spot. I might have to go get one. All right. I didn't really go through the weekly horoscope, but I had to type something in YouTube. So I just wanted to come on and tell y'all story time. What's up, Anthony? Good to see you. Another one of our members out here. It's a beautiful thing. I got a couple members up in the group. If anybody in here that's in the membership, if y'all mind doing a favor and just sharing, you know, what has your experience been like in the membership off YouTube, behind the scenes, meeting twice a month, anything you want to say, I'll be truly grateful for it. And anybody looking to join the membership, join. All right. The next meeting is the 2nd of April, I believe. I'm looking here. Yup. April 2nd is our next meet. My birthday's coming. So excited. That's an addiction. I don't know which one we're talking about, but I mean, I'm addicted to learning. That counts. Sometimes I'll be learning too much. Okay. Is there anything that I need to say? The donuts. Yeah, the vegan donuts. That is an addiction. Heck yeah. I eat probably, I think we did it today. I eat about 2.5 donuts a week. You laughing at the donuts? My partner laughing about the donuts. I eat 2.5 donuts a week. You know what? I'm happy with my 2.5 donuts a week. Addiction or not, that's me being emotionally honest in the moment. I'm perfectly fine eating 2.5 donuts. And the fact that they're vegan makes me so much happier because I'm literally allergic to everything. I feel the same when I stop drinking also. So, honestly, when I asked, I got nothing. There's no message. There's no final message that I was asked to give. The only thing is that our creativity is about to crack open. That's all I got. Our creativity is about to crack open. So that brings me right back to the beginning of the message. Like I said, until Mars hits 9 degrees, understand that the seed that you are watering is this new moon intentions. It's all about, is your intention selfless or selfish? If your intention is selfish, it will die very quickly. If your intention you made for your new moon was selfless, it will last forever, but it also will take that much longer to form beneath the ground before it even sprouts, way before you see it, as well as especially before anybody else sees it outside of you. That was the only thing I was asked to give y'all on the wrap up. If your intention was written down with selfish intentions, it's going to die quickly. You will see it come to fruition quickly, but you will see it die quickly. If your intention was selfless, okay? So I'm going to give you an example, right? I did my Aries this year, solar return was 11th house. So a selfish intention would say something like, I want 6 more members to come into my membership because that is $33 a month times 6 people equating to 180 something odd dollars, 190 something odd dollars. That's a selfish intention. It's going to probably come and then it would die. Or if my intention was, I want to address whatever conflicts within me is not being selfless within my memberships as a leader. Okay, that now becomes a more selfless intention, and that's just off the top of the head. I didn't even really write that, to be honest. But that to me, that's looking at something more selfless because it's like, look, I'm just looking to try to do the best I can to get out of my own way so that I can help others embrace whatever conflict is necessary to ultimately make their hopes and their dreams come true. And that's me trying to think about everybody involved. And it's like, look, if I can work through whatever barriers within me do not want to dissolve and to address that and cut that emotional suffocation to the point of dissolution, then ultimately the members will to be able to embrace their hopes and their dreams and make a plan and start activating those things versus me just looking at, well, how can I benefit from more members? So this is just a sample. And again, I didn't even really write that specific. I think I put more focus on my Aries is actually moving because my birthday is coming. So it's like I'm not going to be 11th house Aries anymore. So, I did mine's completely different. But it's a sample. And I can't even really give you any real ones because my part of fortune is in the 12th house. So all my dreams need to stay completely isolated from the internet and everywhere. That's just how it is. If you have your part of fortune in the 12th house, keep in mind that you should never tell anybody your manifestations. Never tell anybody your manifestations if you have your part of fortune in the 12th house. Never tell anybody your manifestations if you have your part of fortune in Pisces. Never tell your people your manifestations if it's in the 4th house, the 8th house, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, or 12th house. Never tell anybody your manifestations with Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, or 4th house, 8th house, 12th house. Leave them joints private. Never tell anybody your manifestations. Okay, I feel like I need to tell somebody that if y'all don't know where your part of origin is at, or if you don't know where any of your 12th house placements is at, your 4th house placements, your 8th house, go find them because that area should just be, just leave it alone. Don't show nobody, okay? But his membership will help you put pieces together. Dope. I appreciate you, Uranus. Wash it down with ginger and clean the blood with neem leaf. Did I miss something? Did we do a blood ritual out here? What were we talking about with the ginger and the neem leaf? I like neem oil though. I like neem oil, neem soap. Dope. Okay, cool, ladies and gentlemen. Definitely hit the thumbs up, hit the like button. I'm out of here. It's an hour and 19 minutes. At this point, this was what was overflowing within me. Anything past this, I'm gonna be starting to drain from an empty cup. So, or at least taking from my own cup. Which, if you listen to the beginning of the message, that's what we don't want to do. Oh, donuts. Wash it down with ginger and blood with a neem leaf. I keep seeing donuts. Y'all really happy about the donuts. What's going on with the donuts? The donuts. Like, okay. Donuts. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm out. I'll see y'all soon. Thank you for the thumbs up.